Hi, I'm Matt from UKE magazine, and this is a video looking at the Technique Zone feature from issue 27, which came out in September 2021. In this feature, we're looking at playing a solo for a song in the key of C. What I've done is choose some notes from the C major scale, further up the fingerboard between the 7th and the 10th frets. One reason to choose these is because all of these notes are in the C major scale and none of them will then clash with any chords played in the key of C. And a reason for playing them higher up is that your solo will stand out because your notes are up here and generally your chords in the key of C will be down here. Another reason for playing them up here is because it looks a bit more impressive. I realise that people learn in different ways, and so while I like to learn by experimentation and improvisation, some people do like to learn by the page. So I did put an example in the magazine that goes like this. For me, when I play a solo, I would never usually play the same notes in the same order twice. Basically, I use a selection of notes that we know won't clash with the chords that are being played, and that allows me to play any of the notes in any order and I'll know that they'll fit. So in this example, I'm using all of the notes in the C major scale except B, although you're free to use B as well. Once you've familiarised yourself with these notes, then you can just experiment with playing them in different orders. If you've got a friend who could play, for example, C, F and G over and over, that's helpful so you can hear your solo over the top, or you could record yourself playing those chords over and over to give your solo a backdrop so that you can hear how it would work in a song. However, just playing the notes one at a time can sound a little bit dull. So there are three techniques I'd use to liven things up a bit. The first is vibrato, which simply means applying varying amounts of pressure with your fretting hand on a note by pushing harder and softer over and over. So instead of just playing a note, you can push down, up and down without ever letting your finger leave the fingerboard, which sounds a little bit more interesting and a bit more like you'd hear in a guitar solo. Another is bending notes. With a ukulele, I find this works best on the E string, and it simply involves playing a note, and as you pick it, you use your fretting hand to push the string up towards yourself, never again leaving the fingerboard. So that's just a note, but if you were to bend it, you pick and then push it towards yourself. Can also, when you've bent it up to the top, you can pick it again. So I find that the E string tension is just right to do this. If you are bending with the A string, because there's a bit more tension, it's quite hard to bend. And on the C string, you have to really bend quite a long way in order to get a nice sound. So the E string is where I'd normally do it. Thirdly, you can slide between notes. So instead of just going from one note to another, picking each time, you'd play the first note and then slide your finger up to the next note without your finger leaving the fingerboard and without picking again. So instead of, you just pick once and then slide to the next note. And all of these techniques, I think, add a bit more interest to your solos. I've recently recorded another video using all of these techniques. I've used only the notes in the C major scale between the 7th and the 10th fret on the C, E and A string. And I've recorded myself playing C, F and G chords over and over. And I've improvised a solo over the top of those chords using vibrato and using bending and sliding. And once you know which notes can work, you can just move between them, hearing what sounds good to you rather than playing anything in a set order. So I'll finish this video with that example now.